on to Pam Bondi. Guys, I don't know what to think of Pam Bondi. I don't know. But she says this is what she has to say. I hope that this is a clear video.
The FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume. And that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call him later and find out.
Okay, look. I don't know. It looks pretty good in that video to begin with, one. But two, tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. So the one person that can't say anything is the only person that they're like, there's more people, right? Like Stephen Hawking went to the island and was into, was it midgets? Am I making that up? I think that was a thing. Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, many other people on the list. What they did is unknown. I'm not making any accusations, just alleging. The allegations are there. I don't know what it is, though. And it's kind of like it feels like we're getting played a little bit by this Pam Bondi character who was the Attorney General of Florida when Epstein was in Florida. What's going on?
Charles, me first?
I mean, you certainly know more about this than I do. Mine is purely opinion based on everything that we've seen and heard, which is I have no faith in them.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, Miss Bondi. But yeah, Brad, you picked out the important point. I see where this is going. In her comments, she made a very telling remark. She said, Epstein is on camera committing the crimes. It's just Epstein. And to me, it seems like there's so much public pressure. They have to do something. But just like the past Epstein coverage, the Maxwell trial, if you watch the Netflix series, it places the sole focus on Epstein himself and his crimes, and it doesn't touch any of the other perpetrators, none of the financial crimes, where he got his wealth from, Les Wexner, his ties to intelligence, who his clients were. None of that is included in any of the coverage or the documentary or the trials. And as an example, JP Morgan Chase just settled in the U.S. Virgin Islands for $365 million with victims. Why are they settling? Why? What's that about? Like, so this is bullshit. That's where I'm at. It's bullshit.
I mean, yeah, it's absurd. None of it makes any sense. What is the status of not Virginia? What's her name?
Virginia Giuffre?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
She's in prison?
No, I know, but they haven't had the formal trial. Like, she's not. Has she been convicted? No, right?
Oh yeah, she took a deal.
That happened years ago.
Or no, there was a trial, but didn't she end up taking a deal? No.
I feel like why? I mean, I don't remember it being like heavily publicized. I don't know. But my thing is, I just don't understand why. She has a lot to say. Why are we not getting any? Have we never gotten anything out of that?
I don't know. That's what I thought too. I thought that she would sing and somebody else would have to go down, but for some reason they've been able to keep a rap on her. Yeah, there was a trial, but they contained it was the Southern District of New York that tried her, and they contained it to a very set specific time. It was like, I can't remember the exact dates, but it was like 1992 to 2001 or something like that. And so, but no, she didn't sing at all. So we don't know.
Well, here's Kash Patel talking to Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, Charles's favorite senator. Let's listen.
Person with a brain and a beating heart.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When you think you'll have it done, Kash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that. We're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant for production to the public, such as CSAM.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Such
hold
as
on.
what?
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
That's our guy.
Unbelievable.
That's our guy. This is what we voted for.
So just a note back to Ghislaine Maxwell, because I was deeply curious about like why that just kind of went away. Here's why here's why I couldn't remember, and here's why it probably didn't make a big deal, or as big of a deal as it should have, was because one, like Michael said, she didn't testify. She just decided not to. Then the Twitter account that had like 500,000 followers that was tracking the trial was suspended a couple weeks into the trial, and then COVID happened, and then everybody kind of forgot about it. And then since then, she's been transferred to a women's facility in Florida and is scheduled for release in 2037.
She's in that Orange is the New Black lifestyle. Did y'all watch that show at all? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Oh, y'all did. Wow. This is the first time anything from television or movies that I've asked about you guys have seen. This is a hallmark moment on the BCM podcast. That's Mark.
One of the kids from my high school was in it. He was one of the cops.
One of the cops. Oof, traitor, am I right? So Kash Patel saying that he believes that Epstein hung himself in his prison cell. Pam Bondi is saying that Epstein, tens of thousands, whatever, videos, pictures of Epstein being a child molester, child rapist, disgusting. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to believe all of this, that it feels like we're going to get played.
We're getting played. They're framing it right now. They're protecting the victims. No, they're not. They're protecting the perpetrators, the Pritzkers, the Les Wexners, the people at JP Morgan who've gone to jail for, the people at Abercrombie and Fitch who've gone to jail for child trafficking. None of them happen to be involved in this. Give me a break. This is so ridiculous.
You think all that's connected? That stuff too?
Heck yeah, it's all connected.
Wow.
Fun fact, Charles, one of his first jobs out of high school, he was one of the models that stood outside of Abercrombie and Fitch in the mall.
First of all, if I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch, it would have been in high school because that's what everybody works at Abercrombie and Fitch. And no, I did not.
Okay.
I've got a story for you guys.
Wait, did you do that?
Michael was recruited to one of those Abercrombie and Fitch parties. Wait, were you a model at Abercrombie and Fitch?
What? Outside?
Not like yeah.
Standing outside?
I'm
embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed. Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed. I mean, not a lot.
No, I'm kidding. I was 19 in Santa Barbara, California, played college basketball, and I worked at Abercrombie.
Like worked in the store as a cashier, or you stood outside with your shirt off?
Both.
What?
Which is weird in hindsight that they like made kids walk around with their shirts.
I mean,
it was a very fun job. I could tell you some crazy stories about it off air.
His Abercrombie days.
So anyhow, that's it's a little disappointing, I think.
A little? I bet I could find 20 videos of Kash Patel saying Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, and now all of a sudden, I think he did.
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't the defense be that? Well, now he's in the position of power and he has access to more information, and he's allowed to change his mind, right?
Yeah, he has access to the information that if we start pulling the string on the Epstein thing, a bunch of people that are close to power are going to go down. Yeah, he has access to that information. It was written all over his face. Look at him. He looks like he's cowering like a little child because he knows he's bullshitting.
Cowering like a child. He can't.
I'm sorry, I don't got time for this, Kash Patel.
As we discussed last week, he can't run faster than the women cadets. So I think that you're safe to call him names.
Am I wrong?
No, I think that I think you're right. Yeah.
I'm taking some liberties, sure. But I have to because they're not giving us any information.
Yes, all of it is very suspicious. And yeah, I think that I'm surprised that Senator Kennedy didn't, go after him harder. Like, wait, excuse me, you think that he did hang himself? Like, that seems like red meat for Kennedy.
Yeah.
It seems like red meat for all of them. They've all been saying this for years. And then suddenly everybody's quiet. Because at the end of the day, they all know that it's much broader than that and that people that they know. I mean, those Washington, D.C. circles obviously tie very closely to the New York circles and the Palm Beach circles. And these people know each other. And so to a certain extent, I think a lot of them are willing to make a stink about it until it gets close enough to the people that they know.
This is that scenario where it's like all these guys got into power and they got taken into a room and we're like, yeah, if you tell this is what's going to happen. And so they're not. And Pam Bondi, they're going to cower.
Another maybe disappointment, maybe Brett Weinstein on Charles's favorite show, Tucker Carlson. Man, you got so many favorites today, Charles. I'm glad to announce them to the world. He says that there's no way to get the mRNA shots off the list because Trump won't let it happen, basically.
I believe that. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet from the FDA that says today the FDA announced that May 22nd, the FDA's Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee will meet to publicly discuss and make recommendations on the selection of the 2025-2026 formula for COVID-19 vaccines for use in the United States. So, these meetings are still happening on a regular basis. So, yeah, I agree. I don't think that's far-fetched to believe that he won't ruin this.
But it's like it's Trump that won't let it like it's not the people around him, like it's Trump that won't do it. So I just think that's interesting. I mean, I guess he did do so. Maybe that's bad Trump. There we go. Bad
when
Trump.
He came up with Operation
all of
it. Like, were we surprised? Like, I mean, I don't think he's ever really like shied away from his involvement in like the vaccine push. I mean, he said it here.
I think he shied away from it since running again. I don't think he talked about it a lot I think he talked about it during the beginning of this recent campaign, but after a while, I think he shied away.
Shied away meaning he hasn't talked about it or he's distanced himself. I have not heard him distance himself, which is what I mean.
He said some things. I can't remember precisely what he said, but in the beginning of the campaign, to Brad's point, he was like, Operation Warp Speed, I did that. That was amazing. And we saved all these lives. And then in the middle of the campaign, it was like, yeah, we shouldn't have done, like, I shouldn't have let people lock down. I can't remember precisely what he said, but he did seem to tone down his advocacy for what he did during COVID. But so whether Weinstein means Trump himself or the Trump administration, I'm not sure.
So there's bad Trump for you. We'll do good Trump, bad Trump.
All of it's been bad Trump.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, but that's like Kash, Patel, and Pam Bondi. I know the buck stops here, but yada, yada, yada. Fine, but this is Trump specifically not allow, like he doesn't want to hear talk, apparently, according to Weinstein. Now, who's Weinstein's sources? I don't know. I'm sure he's part of the IDW. Certainly he has some inside sources, right, guys? So that's bad Trump. Not good. Let's get those off especially the CDC schedule for kids. Come on. If adults want to do that, whatever.